Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So I was just listening to music and I love music. I don't know if, I love the Bollywood music. The Yeah. Anyways, I'm in a like good mood. Okay, so we're doing chapter 3, verse 17 today. And so this is a different section now. And so I did read this before we started the section, but I kind of forgot it. So it's really, really great that Chaitanya Charan Prabhu talks about this. Okay, so I was listening to his Bhagavad Gita talks from when he was here in Seattle because he did chapter 1, 2, and 3. So I listened to chapter 1 and bits of chapter 2, and he spoke. I love the way he speaks. I absolutely love the way he speaks. So he talked about like he gave a lot of context. He gave a lot of like the structure to the Gita and structure to understanding the Gita. And it's easy to pin things in my head, and I just absolutely thoroughly love that kind of stuff. So one of the things that he said is that there are three ways in which we can talk about the Gita, three contexts. One of them is structural, like which is basically what you can see on the screen right now. 1 to 10 is Karma Yoga is better than Jnaya Yog. 10 to 16, if you're not qualified for Karma Yoga, then practice Karma Kand. So it's the structural. The second is conceptual, like what does this mean, how do I implement, yeah, like what does it mean, not how to, sorry, that's the third part, but what does it mean, like philosophically, what does it mean? And that's what a lot of the conversation is about, that we're doing, is what does it mean, what do these verses mean? And the third thing is how to apply it, how to act on it, like in my real life, how do I act on it? That one is the much harder part, right? So what he does is he pulls in all these three, and he pulls in these, like the structural stuff. Every time we start a new section, he adds this structural stuff. So as you can see on the screen, so the 10 to 16, all about the yajna and sacrifice and everything, was karma kand. You do the yajna and you get the results, you get the fruits of that. And now he's going back. We've changed the section, and now he's talking about Gyan Yoga. So if you're qualified for Gyan Yoga, still practice Karma Yoga to set an example. So let's see. So let's sing the verse, and then we'll explain. I'll explain what he has written. Okay. So Yastvatma ratireva syad आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टस्तस्य कार्यं न वेद्यते. Okay, so the explanation for this, the translation is: one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, one who's satisfied in the self, fully satisfied, for him there is no duty. So okay, let me explain this because I immediately want to go into the commentary section. Okay, yes, tvatma rati reva syad, one who, but atma rati, taking pleasure in the self, atma, it's like atma. Eva, certainly syad, remains. So one who takes pleasure in the self certainly remains. Atma triptascha manava. That person, manava is a man, that person. Atma tripta is self-satisfied, self-illuminated. The tripti in Hindi means satisfied, content. So, maybe it's a different connotation in Sanskrit, or maybe it's similar. Self-illuminated, like that person who is taking pleasure in the self remains self-illuminated. That is so good, right? We don't need to worry about what the world is doing. We can be self-illuminated. I'm getting emotional. Atmanyeva chat santushta, a person who in himself, Atman in Atma in himself, only, and is perfectly satiated. So when a person is perfectly satisfied with just himself, tasya karyam na vidyate, his duty does not exist. So then that person can go beyond the karma yoga stuff. Then the person is in Gyan Yoga mode once they're there. So he does say that. Okay, now I can explain. Now I can go to the context. So Gyan Yogis has renounced the world and go to the forest for practicing meditation, and through this they can expect to transcend their material existence and return back to the eternal external realm of existence. So this is the first verse, and according to this, basically he's saying even if you're qualified for Jnana Yoga, still practice Karma Yoga. So he hasn't talked about that just yet, but right now he's saying that a person who is fully in Jnana Yoga mode, and you can get there through meditation and go into the forest and renunciation and all of that, then you get to this place where your duty does not exist anymore. You don't need to do that because you're fully illuminated. And then he says that he said he's using the word many times. He's using the word Atma. Atma Ratir, Atma Tripta, Atmani Santushta. He's using Atma, the word 3 times. So when the person is turned inwards, Atma Ratir, satisfied inwards, satisfied, see, content. Atma Tripta. Tripti means satisfaction. Like, so he translated, Srila Prabhupada translated it as self-illuminated here, but self-satisfied, So turned inwards, satisfied inwards, and illuminated inwards. So Atma Santushta. Santushta is also satisfaction. It's the same, I think it's similar to Tripti, the content and satisfied. So yeah, 3 times when a person is turned inwards, satisfied inwards, and illuminated inwards, then the person doesn't need seek anything external. We're freed from external obligation. Tasya karyam na vidyate. That person, karya is work. So na is no, so no karya, basically we're freed from work. Such a person, there is no duty. Yeah, so yeah, such a Krishna, so Srila Prabhupada talks about this. A Krishna conscious person like this is no longer interested in material activities and no longer takes pleasure in material stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. We will do chapter 3 verse 18 tomorrow, and I wish you a very, very beautiful day. Radhe Radhe.